Just Bush League.
Green Lantern by Geoffrey Thorne is an interesting book. I can clearly see the potential hidden within these pages, but it's bogged down by some very poor narrative decisions. The lows prevent me from fully enjoying it, but is the potential I see here enough to salvage this book and keep me reading past the first issue? Shifting the focus away from Hal Jordan and onto John Stewart was a good idea, at the very least to keep the series from feeling stagnant. With such a wide array of lanterns to choose from, even if you keep it restricted to the 8 or 9 human lanterns, not counting Alan Scott, it is a shame to keep the comics focused primarily on a single character, particularly at a time when there is only a single Green Lantern book on the shelves. The inclusion of Teen Lantern and exploring who, and more importantly, what, she is, makes for a story with a lot of potential. Add to this the beginning of a tale centered around the Starheart, the source of Alan Scott's mystical Green Lantern powers, and we are in store for some very interesting stories. I have long been interested in delving further into the relationship between Alan Scott's powers and the Owen power battery. There are so many ways this could be done that would be compelling, adding significantly to the Green Lantern mythos, so I am happy to see this being explored once more. That being said, I didn't really expect to see the Starheart tied to Gemworld, though it does make a certain sense. It's good to see Gemworld being explored outside of an Amethyst tale, as maybe this will allow for further development of this mystical realm and give it a firmer footing in the DCU. My own experience with Gemworld and Amethyst is admittedly quite limited, but what little I know makes me feel that it deserves a lot more use and development. So between the exploration of Teen Lantern's powers, the introduction of Gemworld to the world of the Green Lanterns, and the potential for expanding the mythology of the Starheart, there is a lot of potential here. Add to that the further question of what the Green Lantern's role in the universe will be, and I'm very intrigued. Unfortunately, much of this is explored through conversations. Particularly the biggest question: the role of Oa and the Green Lantern Corps on the universal political stage is showcased through page after page of political posturing as to whether or not Oa will be allowed in the United Planets. Only, this isn't some intricate political thriller, it's a fairly shallow presentation, with a few different people giving their opinions and then voting. So much of the page count is consumed by this uninteresting narrative that it bogs down the entire book. This is the sort of thing that could be interesting if it was a book about political maneuvering in the vein of Game of Thrones or House of Cards, but I don't get the impression that that's the intent. And if that is the intent, then it fails miserably at that task, as it doesn't feel the least bit compelling. And we do get some action, which includes decent character development for Teen Lantern, but doesn't really do much beyond that. An alien agent intent upon causing disruption, the same people after the Starheart, releases a devastating weapon, and it takes some quick thinking on John Stewart's part to overcome it. Unfortunately, it winds up feeling convenient more than clever, resolving too quickly and easily. Perhaps if we had less focus on politics and voting and more on the scale of this battle, it might have been more effective, but at least with what we are given, it falls flat. And other than Teen Lantern and a little bit of showcasing John Stewart, we don't get much focus on any of the characters. There are a few new characters introduced that seem as though they might have potential, but they serve a specific purpose in moving the plot along and do little else. The most interesting of these has a design I really like and at least appears to have potential, but he serves solely to provide the solution to their problem, and that's it. He is literally on only 2 pages, gives John Stewart the information he needs to solve the conflict, and that's all we see of him in this whole issue. As for the art, it's good enough. And no, that horribly cartoony cover is not reflective of the book's contents. But it also fails to really stand out. Generally, art has to either be amazing or very unique or horrendous in some way for me to have really much of anything to say, and that holds true here. It's decent, so I don't really have many thoughts on it one way or the other. Overall, this is a book that has a lot of potential, but I can't recommend it on potential alone. It's difficult to tell where the story is going from here, but if it continues with the political side of things, I don't really see it being worth reading. If it doesn't continue that aspect, then I find it even more bizarre to start the series out on this awkward footing. With the ideas put forth here, I may give issue 2 a chance to see if it improves, but I have to say that issue 1 does little to inspire much confidence. Hopefully the series can improve by shifting focus to more adventurous storytelling, but if not, then unfortunately Green Lantern may simply not be worth my time so long as it is in the hands of Geoffrey Thorne. Be sure to help me out by hitting like and subscribe, leave a comment to let me know your thoughts. And until next time, this is Uncle Joel saying, stay tangible.